Hey, how
How
you
you
doing,
doing?
sir?
I'm good. How are
I'm
you?
good. How are you? I'm very
Yeah, I'm
well,
good.
sir. Very, very well. All the better for seeing you on time. Not like our last guest, Olympic athlete Christina Ruger. She was late, you know. Hope she's watching. Thanks for joining us nice and promptly
Yeah.
on time for the second in a series of Dream It, Achieve It. Kye Whyte. Should we let some other people get on board first before we start? How you been? How's your day been?
Um, it's been alright too far. Just been chilling. Yeah, it's been normal day. No,
No,
not normal, but
another.
normal day of quarantine.
I was gonna say another day of lockdown, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, not really doing nothing is pretty much what everyone's doing at the moment. Anyway. No one's really doing anything. So yeah, it's how you been coping with it though? Generally, for the most part, it's a little bit it's alien,
Um,
right? A man like you's active.
not yeah. Normally I'd be training, but it's just like I'm still training, but yeah, it's just not the same. Like, I'm training. Normally I'd be training at a professional gym and stuff,
Yeah,
but now I'm using bins to hold up the weight. So yeah,
using
it's a bit dodgy,
bins.
but yeah.
It's
So it's not.
innovative though. It's innovative, you know.
Yeah,
You've got
yeah, it's doing the job. It's doing the job.
yeah.
But
You're staying in
it's,
some type of shape, but not necessarily the shape that you've been
yeah,
in. Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. We've got a couple more on at the moment. I'll say give them a few more minutes, and then we'll just get into this. Um, I guess you know the theme of today's interview.
yeah.
Yeah, it's more about mindset. Um, really looking. I mean, you're only 18 yourself, right? So,
No, I'm 20. I'm 20.
oh, oh, sorry, I got the wrong stats here.
Yeah,
Oh, somebody sent me the wrong stats. I shouldn't blame them. I should blame myself. Don't worry. So really just out of teens yourself. So
yeah,
you was a teen not too long ago. So I guess you can relate to the frustration that a lot of younger sportsmen and women, younger men and women full stop are going to be going through at the moment.
yeah.
Not being able to go out, check your friends and just do normal stuff really. I know. How you been dealing with that now?
Um, to be fair, I don't know because from a young age, I moved to Manchester from London.
Yeah.
So and obviously all my friends are in London. I have friends here, but it's like, yeah, it's just I don't know. So no, I'm normally at home anyway. So either I'm at training or I'm at home.
Hmm.
So the only weird thing is not going to training with all the boys and then
Yeah.
training in the daytime. That's it really. But
Mm.
then obviously you can't do your normal things like let's go to the cinema or whatever. But yeah, it's just yeah.
All right, here we go. Now. I think the questions are flooding in already. I'm going to encourage people to ask questions throughout this interview with Kye Whyte, and I think we've given enough time for people to join us now. So I'll introduce today's interview, the second in a series of Dream It, Achieve It, brought about by Lisa Miller, the brainchild of the Arco Academy, which is an alternative provisions school, which specializes in sport. Hence why our series of interviews are going to be with people that are immersed in sport in some shape or form. Today, we've got Kye Whyte on. Thanks for your time, Kye. I really appreciate it. Kye is a BMX expert, BMX rider. GB represented his country. In fact, very successful. And correct me where I'm going to go wrong here, just in case I do, Kye. But I've got you down as 9 times British champion and 6 time
Yeah,
national champ. Is that right? Is that correct?
yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
For those who are joining us now and want to kind of understand a little bit about how you can be a British champion and a national champ at the same time, just break that down for me while you kind of give a little bit of insight into your sport.
So so obviously when you start you work here, you learn how to ride a bike, all that stuff. You go to a local club, and yeah, you get riding, get training, and then there's something called a national series throughout England,
Mm,
British national series, and they will do. So obviously we have a my home track is Peckham. We have a track in Peckham, and then there could be one in Birmingham, Scotland, Manchester. The one I train at in Manchester, they will hold their own national series on a weekend. So Friday to Sunday. Friday will be practice. Saturday, Sunday will be competition, and there's 12 races, all in different 12, 12. races, but two, like going up in twos, they're in different locations.
Right.
So it might be like Manchester, then another month it'll be Birmingham, then a couple weeks later it might be Scotland, and then where else? Kent, and then it's loads of places. But to be the national champion, it's the average places you get. So if I was to win every race, I'm national champion basically.
Right. Okay.
Or if I was to win 3 and then come second, and then someone wins like 2 and then they come at second, that would be like, it's just whoever has the most points at the end wins the national title. Then first, I think it's 1 to 8, top 8, and then and then after all the national series are done, we have the British Championships, which is a whole weekend, but it's just one day race. It's just like more important. You go to the British Champs. That's held at where they select, and you race to be the best in Britain, basically.
Okay. I really want to get into today's discussion and the theme of the whole series, which is looking into how, you can impart some of the motivation tactics, the stuff that you use to get yourself G'd up, to achieve your goals and be successful. And you've attained a lot of success. So I really want to get into your mindset, in terms of how you prepare yourself, ready yourself to be successful. There's few role models in BMX, Kye, who have your journey, right? Who have even a similar journey. I know a couple of them reside in your own family. You've got brothers who are in the game as well, and we'll get into them in a minute. But I really want to talk about how you, as a young man, go from Peckham to the podium. How does that take place? How did you identify your goals, your dreams, and more importantly, how did you keep it going?
So from a young age, like, without being too cocky, I just had natural talent. So I think I started when I was about 3, 4. Started the national series when I was 5, and I won every year, and for 6 times. I won it 6 times in a row.
Right.
And then I was got to about 9, 10, and I started racing boys older than me, so like 2 ages up. And that's where I lost my national titles, but it was the best thing for me because my age wasn't good. Like there wasn't the same
quality of,
for me so right. Like it'd been better for me to race older boys. But even when I did race older boys, I was still getting seconds and first and third. So yeah, I've worked my way up through that, and then obviously I was 9 times British champ. Every year I never lost a lap at British champs, and I think I got to about 13, and then when you get to about 13, you can get that's when the GB team starts. You can get scouted for GB team.
Right.
And back then it was called talent team. You do 2 years of that. No, you do 3 years of talent team. And then you go on to do the Olympic development program, which is 2 years, so 17 to 18. And hopefully when you're 18, you get to move to Manchester. But I never done any of that. So I got to 13, and I knew I was good or whatever. I never used to train. Like I knew, like I was just like.
Was it easy for you? Was that the thing?
I kind of had the easy route. I'll be honest. Like just with pure luck that I was very good at what we do. So
you were talented, mate. I wouldn't say it's luck. You make your own luck. It's what you do with the talent, though. But go on. Sorry.
So I just took it to my advantage. I never trained, whatever. And then the first time I went on to the talent team camp, I was racing, and then I fell off and knocked myself out for about 5 days.
Did you?
I was conked out for 5 days in. I think they took me to Liverpool Hospital.
Right.
And there's only 5 beds in that hospital that are for intensive care or something like that. And I was in there, 5 days, and they said when I can walk again, I can be released into like the lower intensity hospital.
Wait, when you could walk again? So talk about the injuries. Just highlight the injuries for a second.
So I don't know what happened, but I've crashed, had a bleed on the brain, broke my jaw. I had a massive scar like all around here.
Wow.
Luckily that healed up. They told me if it didn't, I'll have to have a skin graft on my bum to my face.
Wow, wow, wow.
But luckily it healed up. I wasn't allowed to. I wasn't allowed. So what? How old is he? Year 8, year 9, I think.
Right.
In school times, yeah, I wasn't allowed to school for about 6 months because I couldn't take the light, any of that.
So
So
what age is this? Sorry, what age?
about 13, 12, 13.
Okay, so a pivotal time.
Yes, like just when you start to get going in your
Yeah,
career, basically.
yeah.
And yeah, I wasn't allowed to school for about 6 months. I wasn't allowed to ride for about 9 months. So it basically took me like a year and a half just to get back on the bike. And when I did, I was slow. I was the
Yeah,
slowest.
of course.
I went to a race and I didn't win. Yeah, I just took it personally, and I was like, yeah, I don't really want to race anymore. But obviously, when you get to 13 and upwards, you get to teenage years. That's when you can start doing gym.
Mm.
So I got to about, I'll say about 15 going on 16, and I started training, and then I started getting my groove back, and then I started doing well again. And then, but bearing in mind, I wasn't on the GB team anymore.
Right.
So, because obviously I wasn't riding for a whole year, or whatever. They said, yeah, we're not going to no longer support you, whatever. I was like, honestly, yeah, like, what can I do? I can't ride a bike anyway. But I got to 15, 16, and as I said, I started to get good again, started to get my groove back. And then they said I applied again, and they took me on for a 6-month probation.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 months was for like to see how I am around the support staff, like behavior, how I'm gonna
It's like
act.
an orientation, I guess. Yeah, just to get
Yeah,
see how everybody gets on with everybody else, right?
yeah.
Okay,
And
I
then
understand.
the next 3 months will be competition based. So like they put me on a program within London. I was with a gym guy there, and I was just training. I got really good again.
Mm.
And then come to competition time, I was I got a brand new bike that year. It was a pink bike, and
Mm.
pink GT it was.
Was you
And
was that normal, or did you request a pink bike? Okay.
oh, that's even another story. So basically,
No, you tell that one
there
in a
was
second. Finish this off first.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll tell that on a second.
Uh,
So
mm,
I've got a brand new bike. Bearing in mind, my older brother Trey,
mm.
he's been world number 3, whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
He's well known in Europe. Like he's
yeah.
well known in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
I've come. Everyone's like, "Who am I?" No one knows who I am.
Mm.
And then obviously they've seen that they have the same surname, and they said, Trey. They've always used to commentate me and say Trey Whyte's younger brother. But that's everyone like. But then again, not very much people knew me. But then I started to win in Europe on my pink bike, which made it stand out even more.
No, brilliant. Yeah.
Then I've got to join the team when I was 18. It's just gone uphill from there, to be honest.
So those 5 years have really been, and we're going to get to the pink bike. We're not going to forget about the pink bike. And I want to shout out some of the people that have joined in. Ladia Jay, when you were telling that story about, the horrific injuries that you suffered, he said that was crazy. And I have to reiterate, that was crazy. I'm going to shout out Osh this side as well, singer Osh, who's just joined the chat, and encourage everybody to get questions in for this young man, because he's obviously, I mean, we're only 10 minutes in, but you've got a great story. But those 5 years from 13 to 18, they sound like they were a huge kind of area or period of growth for you. Because I can imagine as a teenager, you've grown, you're having to deal with that adversity, and you still got to achieve. You've got brothers who have set the benchmark before you. The White name is out there, right? People know who you are. So I'm going to really home in on, because this is, like I said, this is about mentality and mindset. What was it in your mind that allowed you to believe you were going to overcome the injuries, get back to training, and even when you came back to competition and you were slow, what was it about your mindset that allowed you to believe that you were going to get back to the best again?
It's a bit cocky to say, but I knew I could do well in the sport. Like when I fell off and I got told I couldn't ride, I was like, should I even start riding again? Because like this is a serious injury, and like it could affect my health when I hit 40 years old. But yeah, at the time I didn't think of that. But
That's how serious it
just
was. Mm.
yeah, and I was like, I don't really want to work a normal job if I can ride a bike for a living. Because when I think it was when I first started school was when my brother moved to Manchester.
Right.
So yeah, when I first started, maybe just a bit younger. So and then he was getting paid full time to ride a bike. So I always knew I was like that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to work a full job, whatever. So plus with the talent I already had, if I could build it, I know I could be one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
So like with injuries, it's always gonna come, but you don't want it. You don't want them to happen or
Of
whatever.
course.
But yeah, that was one of the biggest one I had to deal with, and just get back to how it was really.
Was it a day by day thing though? Or was it a process of visualizing, obviously a belief in your talent, but visualizing, you know, it's going to take this step, then that step, then this step, and I'm going to achieve them, knock them at the park. And that's what I'm trying to get into. How did you form your thoughts? Or did you just take it day by day? Everyone's different.
To be fair, at one point I didn't even think about it because it was like after I fell off or whatever, it was kind of hard to even live normal life.
Right.
Like I would fall asleep at like 4 a.m. and then wake up at 6 and not get back to sleep.
Okay.
So that was an everyday thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just be out of it every day. I had to start taking pills just to help me sleep, organic pills, like because I was too young to take sleeping pills, obviously.
Yeah.
But when I seen a doctor, he said, "Yeah, you can ride, just not yet." I was just taking it step by step every day, like
Right.
obviously hoping to get back to school at one point, learning how to sleep again at one point. There was the main priorities at that young age, and then
So basics, yeah? Basics.
yeah,
Mm.
just learning the basics again, really,
Mm.
and then obviously learn how to like when I first got back on my bike, I remember it very clearly. I rode and I was so slow, and then I was just being sick. I done one lap and I started being sick, and I just laid in the car and I was like, I'm not riding anymore. And then it
The
was just
road.
after that, it was just literally every day was step by step, training, getting fit again, learning learn how to ride a bike properly again. Yeah, it was long and it was hard, but knowing where I could be just kept me on the right track.
Let me change tack for a minute. What's been the most satisfying part of your journey? You know, a particular race that you might have won. You know.
So yeah, I'll say right like when I won in Manchester,
Mm.
that was
When was that? Just for those who might not be au fait with your career.
2019. It was
Right.
last month, the 29th, a year ago.
So what was the significance of the race?
So yeah, I was just obviously it's at our home track in Manchester.
Mm.
It's a World Cup. So World Cup is top riders from every country. It's basically like racing the World Championships as a series.
Right.
So it's basically racing the Olympics as a series, because every person that's at the Olympics will be at that race.
Right. Okay.
The
best of the best.
The best of the best race that race to qualify points for the Olympics.
Right.
So basically, it's just racing Olympics as a series non-stop, and obviously less people and it's just like less pressure or whatever. But this time it was quite a lot of pressure because it's at your home track. They do say you have home advantage, but I think it's just like home crowd advantage, not the track, because the course is quite easy. So yeah, everyone can learn it. But yeah, that was so there's 2 days of competition. The first day I got all the way to the semi-final and I was in qualifying position, and someone fell up in front of me, then I fell off. Yeah, that was that day I was going very fast.
Mm.
A lot of people had me on like saying, yeah, he's gonna win, he's gonna do this. And then I won every race up towards the semi, and then obviously I fell off, and I just rode round, and I was like, yeah, it's just like you can't really get angry. I just smiled, and then then the next day, I was like, I wasn't really the same as the first day.
Mm.
Like, I was struggling to get through, and then in the final, I just put it together, and then I won in front of the home crowd, home track, and that was when I was 19, and only 5 people in the world has ever won it as a team
At that age, yeah.
at that age, and I believe I'm the only black person to win it. I believe, yeah, I
That's
think
I
so.
mean, both hugely significant. Talk about how you felt.
Yeah,
I want to know what that was like, man, because that's a massive
yeah, like
moment.
I came across the line before I even came across the line. I knew I won, so I'll show you this board right here. Actually,
Go for it.
I got this.
Nice, brilliant,
Um,
fantastic.
so yeah, that was like one of the pictures here.
Yeah.
Oh, let me show you. So this is before I crossed the line.
Ah, brilliant. Oh, mate,
So
I
I'm
can see
already
that.
shouting.
Yeah, I can see the joy. What was you shouting, or was you just
Yeah,
screaming, whatever?
I was just screaming, like I just said, I think it was yeah, like loud,
Mm.
like yes or something. And that was, I won that, and then I literally just turned around, came back onto the course, and I stood up on the jump, and I was just like, yeah, I won. Like, I just picked up my bike and I
There's
put
a
it in
lot.
the air, and I
There's a lot of love.
there's a lot of love from the crowd, so that
Mm.
I showed my appreciation to the crowd a lot. Like every race on the gate, every time we got on the gate, they'll say, any GB person's name, the crowd was shouting. And yeah, as soon as I came across the line, before I even came across, when I got a good start, they were shouting. The start to the finish, they were shouting, and then as soon as I won, the whole crowd just went nuts. And
I lost you for a second. So when you got the good start, you.
oh yeah, so I got a good start out the start gate, and you could hear the crowd straight away.
Mm.
I think yeah, the videos on my Instagram, and yeah, they was going nuts from start to finish. And then so in the second turn, the guy fell off in front of me,
Oh, did
and
he? Right.
yeah, so I was in second, and this guy, he's like one of the fastest. He fell off in front of me, and I've literally, I don't know how, but to this day, but I've dodged him. It was very close. Dodged around him, and then obviously took the lead, and that's when the crowd went even louder.
Of
And
course.
then and then when I came across the line, I just turned around and showed my appreciation to the crowd. Really.
Someone's just jumped in and said that you and a guy and somebody called Manon are the first 2 black people to win a
Oh
world title.
yeah. So
Is that right? Yeah.
yeah. So a black woman from France.
On the same
French,
weekend, apparently.
France. Yeah, same weekend. Yeah.
God, what a significant moment to be involved in.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I really wanted you to recall, one of your favorite moments, and that I understand why that's there, because before it, going into it, you would have known how significant that weekend was. You would have known what was riding on it, literally riding on it,
Yeah.
and you would have had to prepare yourself mentally. That picture you just showed us.
Yeah.
Did you have that in your mind already? Was that how the race transpired? Talk about how you gather your thoughts and get yourself ready for the ultimate test, the one that you've been gearing up for.
See, this is where I find it a bit dodgy for me, because before that race, there's a national series before that race,
Right.
a week before, and I went on to do my fastest time I've ever done down the start hill, and then I've
So
done that.
you was in the best shape of your life then, basically.
Yeah, I was in good shape, and then a couple of days later I was training, and then I was nowhere near my times. Like
Oh
they were
God.
shocking.
Right.
And then but I've gone in thinking, yeah, like this is like just see how it goes really. And then the first day, I'm absolutely flying, like killing it. I set a new lap on the track, and I don't think that still hasn't been beaten. yeah, and I was just flying, and I got to the semi, and obviously that day I thought I was gonna win. I actually thought I was gonna win on the first day, and then got to semi, I fell off, and I was like, "Ah, it is what it is." Second day, I'm not doing as good, and then yeah, it's just it came by surprise. It was more of a surprise to me because the first day was just so much different to the second day. Second day was just like a normal weekend where I'm not. So for me, I'm not that good at starts,
Right.
but I'm very good at catching people up. So yeah, I've done good starts on the first day. I didn't have to catch anyone. I was winning, just winning, winning, winning. And I was like, yeah, like, I can do this. I can win. Obviously, fell off. That's just put my head somewhere else. And then second day, I'm having to catch up to everyone because my starts are not as good. And I'm like, that's getting in my own head because like this is my like I train here all the time, like, and I should know how to start on this gate by now. And then I was just relying on me, like being the fastest around the course really. And yeah, it was crazy. I just in the final, you get lane picks.
Right.
So I think I had fourth lane pick, and the guy that was picked, all the guys are fast basically, but the two guys that picked next to me, I was like, I don't really want to be in the middle of them. So like you can kind of play it smart. You can kind of play it smart and be like and pick somewhere else, so you don't have to go next to people that you don't want to. But I was like, do you know what, it is what it is. Like I'm happy to be in the final, and I've just absolutely got a flyer, and well, three of us are level.
Yeah.
But I've got the middle on my inside, and he's gone into the turn first, and the guy on the outside, he's just left enough space for me to fit in. So I've gone into second, and then I'm following around. And already everyone's excited because they know I can catch anyone on the track. So everyone's like, oh, he's definitely going to catch him. He's definitely going to catch him. Turns out I didn't need to. He fell off in front of me, and then I just won the race. So yeah, it was. I don't really know. I couldn't really tell you how I prepared for that.
Right.
Because I didn't expect it on the second day.
Right.
But on the first day, I thought, like this is it, and it wasn't. So I couldn't.
Yeah, contrasting fortunes. I guess sometimes I have this conversation with a lot of successful people that believe in God, especially those that believe in God. He's got this way of giving us everything we want if we work for it, but just not necessarily how we thought we'd get it. So maybe that sounds like what happened to you. I just want to shout out all the people that have been joining. I can see there's a couple questions. Some are in a different language. I'm going to try and get to all the questions at the end of this session. Really want to get some feedback from those who are taking part, especially the kids at Arco Academy who are doing this for us. A series of interviews with sportsmen and women across the world who are at the top of their game. And we're looking at mindset. We're looking at how we get motivated, and specifically how sportsmen and women motivate themselves. Today we've got Kye Whyte, BMX champion. I can see a lot of your fans are in the comments, which is great. Guys, if you want to leave messages and questions, I'll try and get back to all of them at the end. What I wanted to go on to next, Kye, I already know the answer, but I want to hear it from your own perspective. So, I mean, are you done yet? Are you finished? Have you achieved everything you wanted to? It's been easy for you.
No,
But I'd imagine there are steps that you... So how do you see it then? If you're giving me, an insight into your mind's eye right now, how do you see the future? What's left for you to... What podiums have you still got to climb to the top of?
a lot. So I've only won one World Cup, but I like to win the World Cup series. That's probably one of the hardest ones. Then you got Euro champs. I've came second, not first. I want to be Euro champion, world champion. Then you obviously got Olympic champion, European Cup title. Yeah, I've just won one major competition. That's it, basically.
No,
Yeah,
I mean, again, I asked and I knew the answer, but I really wanted to kind of get a sense of what you felt was important to win moving forward. So, again, what's next? After we come out of lockdown and you're able to resume full-time training, what's in the What's in the sight?
So I'm not really sure. Obviously this year was I was number one pick to go Olympics.
Mm.
Um,
Congrats
before
on that,
Olympics
by the
got
way.
cancelled.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Mm.
Before Olympics got cancelled,
Postponed now, bro. Postponed.
postponed. Yeah, postponed. I was going to be the one to be going, so
Mm.
that on for me it was just still training, even though all the competitions got cancelled.
Mm.
But Olympics wasn't postponed yet, so at the time I was just like, was figuring out a way with the coaches and support staff how to um, train the best way to get to a best shape for the Olympics without any competitions. And obviously, the Olympics got cancelled. So I think the first thing is to find out what's
How
just get
competitions are going to be structured. Yeah. Yeah.
just get back into training properly again.
Mm.
I've been training, but obviously I can't ride my bike on a BMX track or do that stuff. So it's not the best to my ability, but get back into full-time training and see what races are on the cards really, and see what we can do, and then hopefully, so we got to fight for more spots for the Olympics.
Yeah.
So
you're gonna have to fight again and earn it again,
yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Whenever that is. Yeah.
Even though I got the top spot, still we still have
Mm.
to. It's still better to get more than one person on the team. So we can. I think we can get 2 spots, but that'd be quite hard. But right now we definitely got 1, and it was just that'll be the main priority, and then but literally it's just taking race by race. So
Yeah.
it'll be a couple World Cup races, and then I think it'll go in. No, it'll be all the World Cup series, then it'll go into the World Championships, and then after the World Championships is when the deadlock of who's going to Olympics, because Olympics is after the World Champs.
Right.
So whoever does the best next year will go to Olympics. It doesn't matter if I got the most points, but it doesn't matter. I have to have the most points because the points have been going up from September 2018. So
it might not reflect who's in form at the time.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's just about who's the best, who's done the best so far that year.
Do you see yourself there though? Even with all of the
Yeah.
uncertainty, do you see yourself there? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't see I don't see myself not going.
You don't even contemplate that.
No, I'm not contemplating that at all. Like at one point I was like, yes, but now I'm just like, yeah, I'm going. Like no matter what, I'm going. The only way I would not be going if they told me I'm not going.
Say no more.
And so,
let's talk about
yeah.
Let's talk about your support team, because I know you've had a huge support team. You mentioned your brothers who have obviously inspired you. I know all about CK and his initiative down in Peckham. I just want to talk about how important that's been in shaping who Kye Whyte is today, and also on that premise, just the notion of having good people around you, listening to them, and helping their information and what they kind of teach you to shape your own sense of what you should be thinking about and how you should be executing.
Yeah. So support from young has been obviously it's done good for me, because obviously we've had CK. He's obviously supported us since we first ever started. He's done a lot. And obviously my mum and dad, whatever, just the normal that will help you in your sport anyway. And then CK has worked us up to the point where I've got you here. Now it's time for you to take it into your own hands and let the GB team help as well. So CK got us to the point where he's taught us everything we need to know, and everything that GB are teaching us. They're just helping us make it better. So like obviously your food, sleep, eat. I mean your eating and sleeping, like your routines, your dedication, how to be prepared for competition, all this all that stuff. And CK's helped a lot with that when I lived in London, and then obviously coming to Manchester, I think GB Cycling is one of the best. Yeah, we have one of the best support staff in the world, I reckon.
No, we do, yeah, definitely.
We have everything down to like sports, like cycling scientists. Yeah, like physiotherapist on deck whenever you need it. Yeah, nutrition, mental health, physical. We have our own. Each of us have each group of cyclists. Like we have obviously have mountain bike and velodrome and stuff like that. Each group has their own gym coach. So yeah, it's like it's pretty hands on deck. So yeah, literally anything we need is there really. And then
You
obviously
got
we have our own centre that we train in, indoor course, and that's the only one in England that's indoor. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
well, big up CK Flash. He's just posted one way up, so it's nice to know that he's in tune today. I guess you kind of touched on this already, and I want you to tell this story, and then I want your pink bike story to be the uplifting one afterwards. So how have you? I know British cycling very well. I've dealt with them over a number of years. Things don't always go well or in favour for the cyclists for one reason or another. It's a convoluted situation up there. We won't get into that. What I want to get into is, how have you dealt with disappointments in the past? Because one of the things I really want to get across in this series of interviews with sportsmen and women is not only just how you motivate yourself in good times or motivate yourself towards your goal, but motivate yourself when you've had a disappointment, a setback that, it hasn't quite gone your way. How have you dealt with that?
So for me, it's like so you first start elite when you're going 18, 19 years old, elite men. And like at that age, you don't really have any expectations.
Mm.
When I first came in, I was doing better than I should have. So then I started setting my own expectations.
Right.
And when I set my own expectations, it's like sometimes it wasn't realistic. And just because I've done it before doesn't mean I can do it all the time. And so like when I think my first race, I made the semi-final, and then literally the next day I went out 4 rounds before the semi-final, and I was like, what the hell, like what's wrong with me? Like I can make the semi-final one day, then do this. So at a young age it was just like it was my own expectations. But coming now, the next year, like 2019, at the end of 2018, 2019 is when I started to really do good. And that's when expectations from the team and me started coming in, because I also started to do the best when the Olympic points system came in.
Right.
So to get the Olympic points, you have to get to a certain round. And if you don't get to a certain round, you don't get points. And then obviously we're competing against other countries. So then you see other countries doing good, and you're like, oh, like they're going to start beating us. And then, yeah, it's just like, so, yeah, I say all 5 of us on the team are top 32 riders. But sometimes we never make top 64. So sometimes it could be because of a crash, but yeah, sometimes it's like, yeah, you just can't perform that day. And then I think the worst one was for me was in Australia this year in January.
Okay.
So obviously the year before I done brilliant. I won that Manchester race, made more finals. I was just flying, but then come towards the end of the year, I broke my hand, and I broke my hand, and then I couldn't race 2 races, which meant I couldn't get 2 sets of Olympic points. But you can drop 2 competitions anyway, which was a good thing. So now it's good and it's bad, because now I can't drop any if I do bad. But I came back just in time. So I broke it in August, and I started riding my bike again in December. And that was kind of, that was a long period.
I can imagine. Was it a bad break or?
Yeah, so I broke my hand in 2016.
Right.
And then
You've done it again.
I decided to cut my cast off and keep racing. And then 3 years later, I've just landed on it again, and it's smashed it to pieces. And I've gone into hospital, and they said we have 3 options. This is where British Cycling are really, like, support team are really good. Like, they took me to we have insurance, health insurance. Took me to a private hospital, and obviously, like, what I think we had, we deal with one of the best hand doctors in the world, and he said he's never seen anything like it.
Wow.
He said, like, we have 3 options. We're either going to plate it, pin and plate, or bone graft. And I was like, he's like, the worst one is bone graft. That will take 6 weeks, and you can get back on your bike after your hand will be strong again. I was like, cool, that means I can get back to competitions. The second competition, so one was in the end of September, then one was in the middle of October. And I was like, okay, I can race for October, and that's cool. Had my operation, woke up, and I had none of them options. He put 3 metal wires through my hand and said, these won't come out for 3 months. So I was like, okay, like, that's what, till November. Got to November, he's like, another 2 weeks. I was like, yeah, it's like, just, okay, cool. Like, I've had it for long enough anyway. Finally got them out, and then, by December, about 3.5 weeks later, I was riding, and then it was just, it was painful. And
that sounds painful, man. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds really painful. That sound. Go for it.
Then at the start of January is when I went to Australia for the World Cup, and I just had to deal with it. Basically, I just had to deal with it. Strapped it up when I went to Australia, and then the first day, I felt like I just forgot how to race. And then I won my first race, and then I was just relaxing. Like, I was like, oh yeah, I won it. Like, it is what it is. Kind of. But I already know it. Every lap is based on lap times.
Yeah.
So the faster your lap time, the better pick you can get for your start gate. So if I got the fastest lap time, whoever I line up with next, I'll have first start, like first pick gate. So I can pick 1 to 8.
Right.
And I had like 5th pick, and I had like gate 5, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. Like, I can still win from gate 5. Ended up getting beat, and I was like, all right, cool. That's not happening again. And then next day I made the semi, and then I just forgot disappointment bit. That was just like, that's not me. Like, that was not me. I came off, packed up my stuff, and just rode back to the hotel. I didn't even watch anyone. I was like, that can't be happening. Like, I'm much better than that. Like, I just came 5th in the world. I'm not gonna get 84th at a competition.
Right.
Like that. Yeah. So next day I've just changed my way of thinking, and just literally got to the semis, and then I just done every race how I should have been doing it. Like, making sure that no one can cut me up on the inside, making sure that my lines are protected, getting the fastest laps, doing all that stuff. And got to the semi, and I was in 4th. And then Argentinian guy cut the grass and took me up, which is not allowed. And then he didn't get disqualified, but
that's another story.
that's another one. But
Sorry, my bad.
So I didn't make the final then either. But I was like, it was way back than the first day. And then so Australia was two World Cups in one, but it's in 2 different locations in Australia. So the first week got done bad the first day. Second day got to the semis, and then the next week, so one was in, where was it? Shepparton. It's a mad place. And then the other one was in I think it was, what is it called? I'm not even sure, but it's like 5 hours away, 5 hours drive or 8 hours drive. And it was like, we was racing, and then the winds got really bad, and then they basically told us every lap you do counts.
Oh.
And so they can cancel it after any race. So all the men have done their first race. I was the second to last race, and then Australian guy, Kaisaki Bara. He was the last race, and he's fell off. Not sure if it was obviously I was about to tell you he fell off, but he couldn't tell you himself, but he fell off, and no one knows if it was the wind or if he messed up or whatever. But he fell off and knocked himself out from January, and he woke up last month. I'm not quite sure on this, or if that's how it went.
Yeah. No doubt. I'll look into that myself. That sounds like an interesting story in
But
itself.
yeah,
I'm glad he's all right.
like,
At least he woke up.
everyone, yeah, and so everyone was like, a lot of riders are like, the BMX people are not taking it into consideration that the riders are not safe, the winds are extraordinary, like it's not safe for everyone to ride. So
there's
a lot of
greater
people,
scrutiny on conditions right now.
yeah. So like all of us was like, oh yeah, let's not race. Like the women didn't get to race, and everyone, loads of riders started going home. They called off the race, and then everyone was trying to work out their lap times, because they said after every race, if we call it after that, whatever race it may be, that's what the results are going to be. So it turns out I got the second fastest lap, and I got second. So it counted as I got podium position at a World Cup. So that was a good highlight of my weekend. And that was only after one lap.
Yeah, blessing.
And then the next day got cancelled, and no one got to race. So yeah, we flew to Australia for like 24 hours for one weekend, basically.
Well, at least you didn't end up like that other young man. So, sometimes I guess you got to count your blessings. It was fortunate. I'm conscious that we've run for 50 minutes, you and I. It's been a good chat. I want to continue it, but I want to encourage those who are listening to send in some questions. I know a few have come in, and I know now, based on the fact I did an Instagram live with Christine the other day, that after an hour they cut off. So we're gonna let's just take this last question, and then maybe start this live again, so that we can go for another however long. The pink bike. Let's close the show with that. What made you pick? What made you pick the pink bike? What was that all about?
So I didn't even pick it. This guy called Terry. He's like, he's always had he's always gave his sons the best bikes. Like, he knows all the people to get the best parts or whatever. Good spray jobs. And I said to him, like, I want a custom bike. He's like, cool, like, leave it with me and I'll sort you out. I was like, yeah, cool, that. And I said, whatever color you want to do. He's like, yeah, cool. He took it to his guy, and the guy said, I want to try out a new color. And it was glow in the dark green.
Glow in the...
And yeah, it was glow in the dark green. And he's like, yeah, we've done it. He's got it done, and then he's gone to pick it up, and then as we've gone to build it, there's little black dots on the frame that have come up, and they came up, and then he's like, oh, like, I wasn't bothered. I would ride it how it is, but he's like, yeah, I'll take it back, and then he didn't end up having any of the green left.
Okay.
He's like, at least, like, and I was like, oh, I need a bike to race, and like, he's like, cool, leave it with me. He sprayed it pink.
So
sprayed it pink.
Obviously, you was all right with it when you picked it up, though.
Yeah, it was actually a nice bike. It was one of the best bikes I've had. It was like two-toned, so like some of the pink was like very light, then it was dark, and then it was like kind of orangey pink, and then white pink. Yeah, it was a sick bike.
Well, CK's just jumped in and said, CK Flash, for all those that don't know, watching, he's just jumped in and said you'd win on any bike. So I guess the color doesn't really matter. He should know. You was down at Peckham BMX for like 17 years, so he would know, along with your family, of course. Like I said, I'm conscious that the live's going to end in a second. Let me just see if I can tap in on some of these questions that look like they've been put in. Would you have been able to move on from your injury without parental support?
No, because my mum was helping me sleep and stuff.
Right.
obviously my dad is the coach under CK,
Right.
and he was obviously wanted me to get back riding as soon as possible. So yeah.
So they was integral.
Yeah, my mum took me to all the hospital appointments to even get my brain checked to see if it was all right again,
Mm.
all that stuff. And yeah, she obviously helped me sleep. Took me, yeah, got me the pills from the hospital, all that stuff. And then just, yeah, that day-to-day living just helping me out, really.
Big up Jordan Thompson, karate, GB representative, who's joined us as well. Thanks for your love you're showing,
That's
Jordan.
Jordan.
And yeah, do you know Jordan as well? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm surprised to see him here. Actually, it's nice to see him. I'm going to end this live now because I've got a couple of other questions I want to ask you that have come in from the audience. Right, so um, everybody that's watching, join back in about 5 minutes. Kye and I are gonna get back on and wrap this up with some of your questions and a couple more from me. This has been Arco's Dream It, Achieve It second interview in a series of sports interviews looking at the mindset and mentality of those that participate in sport all over the world. We've got GB representative Kye Whyte here, and we're gonna tune back in about 5 minutes. So come join us. All right. Thank you. Been a really interesting chat with a young man who's done some remarkable things. So here he is. He's joined. Let's get him in. Oops, wrong man. Oops. Nice to have you on board again, sir.
Hello.
All good. Let's give him a couple of minutes to get back in. The next question came in from one of the viewers actually. It was on if British cycling has supported you mentally. So just bear that in mind. We'll wait for a couple of, well, let's give it another minute, and then I think everybody would have been on that was on. There's quite some good engagement today.
That's cool.
And yeah, then I've got a couple of more after that. So it's a good lot. A lot of people from France have tuned in. Is the sport big over there?
Yeah. France and Holland are the best riders.
Are they the best? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, sometimes you got the best, but it's not necessarily generally an appetite beyond, the hardcore audience that watch it. Do you find that there's a wider audience that watch it in those countries apart from just your people
Yeah,
interested
like
in BMX?
I feel like Holland and France, they're like quite big because even when you go to Holland, everyone's riding bikes anyway.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So when you have like good cyclists in Holland, like for velodrome the best rider is Dutch, and then for BMX the best riders they're both Dutch. So yeah, they're, and in France, they have some big riders.
Do you when you go over there, do you get recognised though? That's kind of what I'm getting at. Is it like that?
Like I feel like it's a big but small community.
Right.
So like once you're like a top rider, it's like you're very well known in the BMX industry.
Okay.
Even if you're like even when you could be retired for like 10 years. You could retire like 10 years ago. You'll still be known. It's quite big.
Quite big. Well, that's good. It's good. It's a good look. A few more have joined us now. I think we can get going again. I wanted to lead off with another one of the questions that came in earlier, before I ended the last live, was British cycling. How do you find that they've helped you with developing your mentality?
I'll say yeah and no. In like injury wise, 100%, because without them, my hand is not. Well, I don't think it'd be working without them. So it's like I think it depends how you mean. Like coming in the competition, I would say no. Only reason why is because I don't really struggle mental wise. But outside, like in training, or obviously when I had my broken hand, they played a big part because my hand, I was just like, I feel like just to quit because I could just fall in my hand again and it goes again and I can't ride anyway. So I was just, yeah. And then, so they played a good big part. And yeah, they're very, like they have, as I said, they have, what's them people that you talk to?
Psychologists.
Psychologists, that's it.
Yeah,
They have
yeah.
psychologists. I've never spoke to one, but yeah, they have, yeah, they're pretty good with all that stuff.
Yeah, they have. Do you know one of the comments that flashed up earlier in the last live? It said that it's funny to catch you not on an Xbox. So you're a big Xbox man.
Oh yeah, so I play Xbox, yeah, all the time, basically.
Oh,
I was
mate,
only
all the
start
time,
getting
yeah.
live. Yeah, all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
time.
I thought that was quite funny. So what games do you play on Xbox? What's your game?
So I play Call of Duty, FIFA,
Mm,
and Rainbow Six
okay,
Siege.
cool. I don't know. Just
But
there might be. What's
God,
your handle? What's your name on it?
what's my Xbox name?
Yeah.
Oh, do you want me to put it?
Well, you might as well, isn't it? You never know. Some of the people watching might want to join you. What's your game attack,
Um,
son? Yeah, see, someone's just asked, what's your game attack? Do you not want to say, Kai? Is that what it is?
no,
Do
I
you
don't
not
mind.
want
I
to?
don't mind. I
No,
just put
go
it on
on,
my
man.
live
You
all
might
the
as well.
time.
Yeah, promote it, man. Why not? What is it?
That's my name there. Yeah, I put it
Okay,
on my live
cool.
all the time.
There you go. There you go, guys. If your game is join Kai there. Listen, I'll get into one of my last
Yeah.
questions. I'm going to ask everybody this: if there were three traits a dreamer who's to become an achiever needs to embody, what would they be?
Um, I don't know. I'll say determination.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's quite hard. A vision. They need to have a vision.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the last one, to be fair.
No? Think
No.
about it. Take your time. Take your time. No rush. Because I want the three. Because I really want you to explain why
Yeah.
those ingredients are key. Again, for those who are just joining us, who might not know what this interview is about. I'm with Kye Whyte, GB representative for BMX in this country. 9-time, was it national champion? 6-time British champion. Help me out, here, Kye. Is that
Other
right?
way around. Other way around.
Oh, right. Okay, right. Got the numbers wrong. It's 69, not 96, or 96, not 69. And Kye embodies all of the traits that are a successful sports person does have. He's only 20 years old, and the sky's the limit based on the first part of this interview and his ambitions moving forward. This series of interviews has been brought about to you by ARCO, which is ARCO Academy, sorry, which is an alternative provisions school based in South London. Gives kids an opportunity where they might not otherwise find it, with an emphasis on sport. This is why we've got the people like Kye. We already interviewed Kristen Urugu, and we've got a host of sports people coming up in the next couple of weeks. Kye, we were talking about traits
Yeah.
that a sports person needs to embody. 3 of them. You've mentioned determination. You've mentioned.
I'll start again. I'll start again.
Go for it. Go for it, sir.
So I'll say ambition,
Mm-hmm.
dedication, and I'll say vision and goal. Like the same.
Okay, yeah, I get
A
you.
vision
I get
for
you.
an end goal.
Which one of those 3 came naturally to you? I'd imagine you have to develop all of those things if they're not innate to you. Which one
I'll say
came naturally? Is easy for you to do?
a vision.
Mm. Is that because you were talented as well, though?
Yeah. So like, I've had a taste of what it's like to win.
Mm.
So my vision is just to keep winning, and my goal
Right.
just to keep and win. My goal is to win the big ones, and yeah, and then obviously dedication is just you got to stay dedicated to your dream, and keep focused at it. Make sure you're doing all the right things to get to the end vision and ambition. Just I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't use ambition. No, ambition is a good right one. Yeah.
Okay, no, they're personal to you. I don't think there's anything wrong with ambition, to be fair.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and you've achieved in it, so it's not like you didn't have the ambition and didn't achieve. You've
Mhm.
achieved, set new ambitions. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna. We're into my last question, and I'm sure others want to ask you a few bits and pieces. So please drop your questions in the question box, if you can. I'll try and scroll through some of the comments to see if I've missed anything. Shout out to everybody that's joined us. Thanks for showing a lot of love as well. I've seen a lot of hearts flying up and down the screen, which is always good. My last question on something I really want you to just impart some advice on, really. I'm not saying that you're in a position more so than anybody to know the answer to this, but I really want to get an understanding of what different things people are doing. There are youngsters who are watching this interview. A lot of them attend Arco Academy, who we're doing this series for. They need some motivation at this time. Kye, they're stuck at home. They're watching Netflix. They've seen everything, to be quite honest with you. What else can they be doing to keep them focused on their goals, despite counterproductive circumstances?
Um,
It sounds like a deep one, but I mean,
yeah,
you've identified you're playing a bit of Xbox, you're doing a bit of training. I'm sure you've
yeah,
got a routine that's keeping you sane. I know what you want to be doing, but I guess what can people maybe nick from your little toolbox
yeah.
to
Just
help them?
yeah, just set yourself little challenges around the house. Like, um, if your room is messy, make sure you keep your room nice and tidy. If you feel like you have a lot of energy, just go in the wherever you can, where there's some space, do a little workout. Um, just do everything that you wouldn't normally do. Like
Mm.
in the house. Like, I know a lot of kids don't really tidy up. Facts, they don't. So yeah, just help your mum about. Um, if you can, if you have Xbox, PlayStation, PC, or whatever, don't play it for too long. It's not that good, but yeah, just have some fun and enjoy this bit. It's a bit of a night. Enjoy the nightmare, basically.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
have fun with it, and don't really think about it. We all know it's gonna come to an end. It's not gonna be this forever. So just do it, live it while you can. They don't
Just
have to go to school as well.
no, no, sorry. So what was that?
Yeah, they're not even at school, and I know most kids don't want to go to school.
Yeah.
But if you got schoolwork, make sure you get your schoolwork done. This is your best time. Get your schoolwork done early, so you don't have to do it when you go back to school. All the homework you need to be doing and all that stuff. If you need to be training, get your training done. This is the best time to even get even stronger or whatever, or faster or better at your sport, whatever sport you may do or whatever you may want to do to get better at it.
Use the time wisely. Wise words. From a
Yeah.
selfish point of view, sorry, I know I said that was my last question, but I've got one more. Who's the biggest name in your sport, Kye? Who's the biggest?
Uh, I say there's a couple. There's a couple,
Go for it.
but the big I'll say it'll be. Should I name the couple or
Yeah. Name the ones you think are the biggest.
who you got? This is the thing with BMX. You got Neat Kimmen. He wins a lot of World Cups, back to back as well, which is kind of hard to do. You got Joris today, one of the fastest French riders. He lives in America. He mashes up the American scene. You got Olympic champ Connor Fields. You got another American, Corbin Sherrar, Twan van Gent, Dutch. He's the world champ. You got Sylvain Andre from France as well. Um, then you got like weird ones like Ecuador. You got Alfredo Campo. He's he's very fast. Where else? You got Australia, um, Annie Dean, and then obviously the guy that fell off and hurt himself. His name was Kye as well.
Mm.
He was very good. Then you got the Swiss team. You got David Graf, Simon Marquette. There's a lot. Then you got the Colombian team. They're like every ride is different. So like the Colombian team, they're not very fast at starts,
Right.
but their track, like their course craft, is like no other. Like they will fit through the smallest gaps, take like pass you where you shouldn't be passed, and then the Argentinian team, they're very dirty. And then, yeah, the Dutch team, they're all very fast. French team are very smooth, very like nice pedaling. American team, yeah, the American team, like they vary. And then obviously you have the GB team, we're all varied as well. So like two of them have very good starts, and then the two young, me and Paddy are very coarse people. Like we catch up to anyone.
Right.
And then Quillen, he's just like a very massive guy, and then yeah, he would just push anyone off really. And then for the women, you have Elise Willoughby from America, absolutely kills it.
Beast.
Laura Smolders from Holland, she's very good, like kills it as well. Marina Pajon, I think she's the only cyclist. She's the most followed cyclist from Colombia, two times gold medalist. She's 2-time gold medalist.
Say no more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, then you have Mara Strongbow, also 2-time gold medalist, but he's retired now from Latvia. I think he's the only Latvian to ever win a medal. So, like,
Is it gonna take you achieving at least as a minimum what they have before your name is etched alongside those greats that you've mentioned?
So some of these riders are still riding now. The only one that's not riding now is Mara Strongbows. So these I would say, so I'm fifth in the world, but these are like continuous fifth, like
established
riders. Yeah. Whereas I'm just coming in, and I'm only just getting into that category.
How long do you see yourself in the game?
Till 2028.
Okay, so there's 2 Olympic cycles to come.
Yes, no, 3. So
cool. So 2024, 28, right? Yeah.
2020, and then hopefully I can retire. Right, never sport goes might retire before or whatever. But yeah.
Do you see retirement, or is that a long way off? The reason I'm asking that to you as a 20-year-old man is because do you visualize all of the things you're gonna win or have to win in order to keep that ego satisfied? You know, that self.
Yeah. I know what I have to win to retire when I want to retire.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I get you.
And I know, like when I say people have to have a vision, I know what my vision is, and I know what I have to. It doesn't matter which way it goes. I just know that has to happen. I have to win a gold medal somehow or some way, and that's my vision. I just need to do that to retire the way I want to retire. Okay,
all right. Well, good luck with everything moving forward. I really appreciate the hour, and we've been on an hour and 15 minutes. There aren't any more questions that have come through. If there's anybody that wants to answer a question, you've got maybe 60 seconds to get it in quickly. But this has been the second in a series of interviews for Arco Academy, where an alternative provisions school in South London, where they teach kids that need an opportunity and maybe a bit of exposure to sport, which is why we've chosen to home in on people like Kye Whyte, Christina Rugu, and plenty more to come. So thanks for all your support. It's the brainchild of Lisa Miller. I'm sure you can find her on Instagram to hit her up if you've got any feedback. But for everybody that's been in tune, thank you very much. Kye, appreciate it. Look after, good luck. And hopefully we'll speak soon. All right?
Yeah, we'll do.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Thanks for a bit.
See you later.